baby, nobody big, nobody strong, nobody sweet. Oh no baby, there's none like our God. There's none like our God. Nobody big.
Extraordinary radio for discerning listeners. Starr 103.5 FM.
Good afternoon, as the 23rd of December 2024. This is the Midday News on your Simply the Best, Starr 103.5 FM. My name is Emmanuel Ejabin, coming up shortly. President Akufo-Addo denounces post-election violence as he criticizes leadership of the National Democratic Congress for their role in the ongoing disturbances.
It is particularly regrettable that these unfortunate disturbances appear to involve some executives and sympathizers of the victorious party, the National Democratic Congress.
Meanwhile, political analyst Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante criticizes the economic management of the Akufo-Addo-led government, describing it as a failure.
The economy, the president failed woefully against the backdrop that there were early warning signals people gave to the president, but they all fell on deaf ears. The president did not mind all this, and we are where we are as a result of mismanagement of the economy.
Presbyterian Church of Ghana urges President Akufo-Addo to sign the Human Sexual Rights and Family Value Bills into law.
And we are confident that in these last few weeks, you will make our joy complete by giving assent to the bill so that it will become law in Ghana. We are confident, sir, that you will do so.
Later in the bulletin, a person to a sing-a-thon attempts sees low patronage. We've got the details of these stories and many others coming up shortly.
Starr News is coming to you live on Ultimate 106.9 FM in Kumasi, Empire 102.7 FM in Takrady, Zeps 95.9 FM in Zebila, Nissim 100.1 FM in Lamshao, MyStar Radio in the USA, also live on Facebook on Starr 103.5 FM and on starfm.com.gh around the world. This is Starr 103.5 FM. Starr News. Informed, in depth, in touch.
Thank you for tuning in to the bulletin. This is the Starr Midday News. My name is Emmanuel Ejabin. President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has strongly denounced the violence and destruction that occurred after the 2024 general elections, while criticizing leadership of the NDC, that's the National Democratic Congress, for their role in the disturbances. Speaking at the bicentennial anniversary of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana on Sunday, December 22, 2024, the outgoing president emphasized that these events mar Ghana's democratic reputation.
It is the deep exercise. Such acts were completely unnecessary and are wholly unacceptable. They must never reoccur. It is particularly regrettable that these unfortunate disturbances appear to involve some executives and sympathizers of the victorious party, the National Democratic Congress. As a nation, we must be resolute in our commitment to safeguarding peace, stability, and the democratic values we have worked so hard to establish. I commend greatly the Electoral Commission for its diligent and transparent efforts in supervising the electoral process and in compiling and delivering the results of the elections. Let this moment serve as a reminder to all of us that Ghana's democratic credentials are a shared heritage, one that we must all protect and cherish at all times. In so saying, I'll also commend the security services, especially the police, for the effective monitoring of the elections, which ensure their peaceful nature. But I would ask the leadership of the police to review its practices that has allowed the post-election violence to linger for too long before it is brought under control.
President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo speaking there, but he was not alone on that particular thought, as he also expressed pride in the government's transformative initiatives and economic progress, which according to him has improved citizens' quality of life, mentioning significant social interventions in health, education, and the energy sectors. The president says he is confident that his legacy will be appreciated by future generations.
I speak to you today proud of the achievements my government has chalked under God's guidance and the support of our people. From transformative policies in education, health, agriculture, industry, and infrastructure, to the promotion of good governance and economic development, I'm confident in all humility that posterity will judge well the Akufo-Addo government's performance. Future generations will look back on this era and say that we laid a strong foundation for progress and prosperity. I would like at this stage to comment briefly on the just concluded elections, an exercise that has once again reaffirmed Ghana's enviable standing as a beacon of democracy on the African continent and in the world. We give thanks to Almighty God for the peaceful nature of the process, which allowed the sovereign will of the Ghanaian people to be manifest, and which led me to congratulate in all sincerity the winner of the presidential election, the former President of the Republic, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, now President-elect.
Well, not many believe in the legacy of the president, as political analyst Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante has sharply criticized the economic management of the Akufo-Addo-led government, describing it as a failure. Speaking on the Morning Star with Nadede Tate, Dr. Asah-Asante emphasized that despite early warnings, the president ignored signals of economic distress, leading to what he called a woeful failure in economic management.
Next, the good aspect of what it did can be seen in areas of education, where in spite of the difficulties this country goes through all the time, particularly during his era, but we can also look at the issue of the general, improvement in terms of infrastructure development and what have you. We were able to do some reasonable ones and all that. But come to governance indicators specifically, let me touch on the economy, which is a critical index in the governance architecture. The economy, the president failed woefully against the backdrop that there were early warning signals people gave to the president, but they all fell on deaf ears. The president did not mind all this, and we are where we are as a result of mismanagement of the economy. There is absolutely no doubt about that. We've mismanaged the economy to the extent that we have to be in IMF for $3 billion, which when we are able to plug corruption with Transparency International, local branch, GII, Ghana Integrity Initiative, tells us that every year we lose more than $3 billion through corruption. Fix corruption and you don't go to IMF. So for me, that is an indictment on the government, that they mismanaged the economy and that they did not care a hoot about, financial prudence and fiscal discipline.
Just gone by was the voice of Dr. Kwame Asah-Asante. He is a political analyst reacting to the president's management of the economy. We take a shift now from matters of the economy to still aspects of what legacy President Akufo-Addo leaves behind. And here, the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Opare-Kwache, has urged the president to quickly sign the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill into law. Thus, he believes will be the best gift to the church as they celebrate their bicentennial anniversary.
The work of these churches has shaped and sharpened the value system of our nations, and we shall not in any way go back. Where necessary, the Christian faith has helped sharpen our beliefs, our values, and practices as Africans. In some cases, we have managed to overcome some of the dehumanizing practices of the land in the 19th and the 20th century. And we are not ready to sacrifice this high ground of morality for anything. Your Excellency the President, on the 18th of December this year, the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, only this week, celebrated our 196th anniversary as a church. And all over the country, Presbyterians were excited with the fact that we are 196 years. On that same day, we received news that the Supreme Court had dismissed the suits that challenged the constitutionality of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill. For us Presbyterians, having given the bill our support at the time when the church was led by my predecessor, we interpreted this as our birthday gift for this year. Your Excellency, make our joy complete. Make our joy complete. And we are confident that in these last few weeks, you will make our joy complete by giving assent to the bill so that it will become law in Ghana. We seek to preserve the values of the African people through the gospel, and we are confident, sir, that you will do so.
You had the moderator of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Opare-Kwache. The issue of prison overcrowding continues to dominate discussions in Ghana, with many inmates incarcerated for minor offences due to their inability to pay court-imposed fines, with others due to the delay of pre-detention trial. The recent intervention by the Golden Touch Foundation at the Koforidua prisons has brought renewed attention to this growing problem. The foundation paid fines for two inmates, Bequem Alex, who's 27, and Esau David, 42, who had been jailed for failing to pay fines for non-violent offences. Alex, sentenced to 8 months for stealing 4 bunches of palm fruits, could not afford the 3,600 Ghana cedi fine. Esau, sentenced to 4 months after damaging his ex-wife's household items, struggled to pay fines and compensation totaling 2,720 Ghana cedis. Eastern Regional Correspondent Kujuansa has more on the following report.
The recent intervention by the Golden Touch Foundation at the Koforidua prisons has brought renewed attention to this growing problem. The foundation paid fines of 2 inmates, Bequem Alex, 27, and Excel David, 42, who had been jailed for failing to pay fines for non-violent offences. Alex, sentenced to 8 years for stealing 4 bunches of palm fruits, could not afford the 3,600 fine. Similarly, Excel, sentenced to 4 months after damaging ex-wife's household items, struggled to pay fines and compensation totaling 2,720 Ghana cedis.
Police station. No, I'm demi court. I'm born me can Nyaska, I'm born me cat 24 million. Nya's country, it's in none better. And I let you money at my bar. Fruits, some where I bet you made a blame, but I'm finding 36 million. And I may discuss a meeting, and I'm a BP.
Both men had already served portions of their sentences when the foundation intervened to secure their release, enabling them to reunite with their families for Christmas.
We are have a few people that we are dominating for donations. So this is the reason why you came here today.
DSP Kwajo Boache, officer in charge of reception at the Koforidua prisons, commended intervention but highlighted the scale of the problem.
The prison can be anyone's second home at any point in time. I pray that members of the public will come and then assist the people. Some of them, their fines are even less than thousands of dollars. So if they can come and then come and take them out, it will really help decongest the process. As the festive season is coming, we wish and pray that a lot of people and NGOs will come and at least take one person out who has a fine to help decongest the process.
Ghana's prisons are designed to hold fewer inmates than they currently accommodate, leading to poor living conditions and increased pressure on limited infrastructure.
We'll bring you the full reports in our subsequent broadcast. This is still the Star Midday News with me, Emmanuel Ichabin. Accra is a city of constants, trotros buzzing through the streets at all hours, kinky houses on nearly every corner, and traffic that seems to never end. But there's one thing that truly stands out. That's December, that's with the E and double T. When the Christmas season arrives, this time of year takes the usual hustle and bustle to another level. It's not just about the traffic, it's about the energy. The nightlife in Accra during this period is a force to be reckoned with music, parties, and celebrations happening at every turn. Despite the festive atmosphere and countless events, the gridlock during this time is unmatched, with cars inching forward and trotros packed to the brim. The only thing standing between you and the party might just be the hours spent navigating Accra's never-ending traffic. The GPRTU, largely responsible for managing those who often join the trotro, has been engaging with GH1 News on how they are prepared for the festive season. Ibrahim Moro is the Public Relations Officer for the GPRTU.
To be very careful about thieves. You know, if the situation becomes very tense, pickpockets are also at their best. So everybody should be aware. If you're in the midst of the public, you should be aware of your pulse. Any valuable thing you are having, you should be very, very mindful on the way you handle it and where you are working. So we'll always manage it, and we'll manage it till it is over.
Right, but what measures has the GPRTU put in place to ensure that, the drivers, your drivers, are able to manage themselves well, especially in these times?
Yes, during this period, we've also advised you have to work overtime. Maybe you close around 6 p.m., you have to extend the time small to about 8, so that we could be able to make sure we serve all the passengers at our various stations. The taxi stations too, as we advised. You know, we have some who works during day, we have some also who works during night, and we also advise them to be very, very vigilant, because there are so many bad men or women in the system as well. Whilst we are working, we should also be our brothers' keepers to make sure those with bad intentions could also be identified.
So that's Ibrahim Abbas Moro there with some advice, even as we enjoy that December. Be your brother's keeper, even though you go through the hustling and bustling of Accra's traffic. Let's do some politics now. Over the weekend, there was uneasy calm at the Greater Accra Regional Office of the Electoral Commission as 7 out of 9 disputed constituency parliamentary results from the December 7 elections, which were earlier declared in favor of the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, have now been declared in favor of the New Patriotic Party, NPP. The NDC initially boycotted the exercise, describing it as illegal. However, some officials of the party and parliamentary candidates who later stormed the collation room, resulting in a heated argument with electoral officers and party agents of the NPP. Obed King Gaglo has more in this report.
Call it a marathon of declaration, and you will not be wrong, as the coalition for 9 outstanding constituencies began with this banter between MP for South Dai, Rawson Nelson Dafamokpo, and that of the electoral officials.
He doesn't want to obey the law. Why would this be acceptable to me? What is bad? X in the healing fix. You can't put something on nothing and expect it to stand.
The confusion was about the fresh start or continuation of the coalition process for the Tema Central constituency. Parliamentary candidate for the NDC, Ibe Bright, insists the illegality showed halt.
We know from the posture and the total disregard for the workings of the law and whatever it is that these people disregard. And we will not sit by, especially since we have a case to stand on, and allow them to commit an illegality without challenge.
But in a twist of events, Deputy Returning Officer for the Tema Central constituency declared MPP parliamentary candidate as winner for the Tema Central constituency.
Charles Forson as the member of parliament elect. Thank you.
Amid the confusion and disagreement, the collation and declaration process continued for these constituencies: Afano Southwest, Afano North, Techima South, Okankwe Central, Obuasi East.
Per the results and by the court order, I do hereby announce and declare that Patrick Yao Boama has been elected as the MP for Okankwe Central.
We fought a good fight, we waged a very good campaign, and God has been so good to us. We thank the good Lord for giving us victory.
We need to point it out. This is fraudulent. These are cooked figures we can't work with. We've got PC that you gave to us. That gives us the edge. That actually leads to the fact that we duly won the election.
The process for the Ablekuma North constituency, however, truncated due to misunderstanding and heated exchange between the parliamentary candidate of the MPP and that of the NDC. Deputy Director in charge of elections and IT for the NDC, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, the collation and declaration by the Electoral Commission for the MPP parliamentary candidates are illegal and will not be respected by the NDC.
We are saving notice that, look, they should be rest assured, the general public should be rest assured, the NDC family should be rest assured that whatever charade or kokofu going on here, being aided by the security, police, is illegal.
Charades and kokofu going on. That's Dr. Rashid Tanko of the NDC. We look to see what will happen in the coming days. But on the other side, the MPP has expelled 283 members, including Central Regional Minister, for supporting independent candidate Cynthia Morrison against the party's candidate. The decision was made at a standard constituency executive committee meeting held at Agona Swedru. The meeting, chaired by the constituency chairman Alhaji Tanko, was attended by members of the Council of Elders, patrons, founding members, old executives, electoral area coordinators, disciplinary committee members, the municipal chief executive, that's Honorable Onyuma Coleman, among other dignitaries of the party. The decision was unanimously taken by members at the meeting based on Article 3(9)(1) of the party's constitution. According to Alhaji Tanko and other leaders of the party, the affected individuals either directly campaigned against the party's candidate or sponsored others to do it on their behalf.
I'm say Edikan, yet in Yankopon was say a year and a breed. Yay, the minting and see the Wagona was. But you say Edway be also decision be over who take a heartbreaking. But who to take you yes, na Wakoyama, a chief so was set the president days for. Say, and you'll be an I am time in power, be sure I be a next hour by your conference chairman, also before the small first steps. Mad be sanity, na impunity, I wa Agona West, ne a cake ship. Yen ya dancing. Are there ever ye, you deny a party authority so. What a part of the constitution, whose constitution making it clear. A year of an Article 37. Say, whoever about the independent nature, what of your membership. And to know yen ya in, while shall we interview most soon. I dare course were going to West. A idea, a Yanshana Yan Bon Bank, a starting yonder. Opposition be a way to a party no more. True party and Edward and Edu see her. Because one short, the Antanaka NDC win away. One can be a chairman and answer we MC and answer we are Namins and we MP. Then one can say, or fun and still will continue with the opposition.
So that's the story coming in from Agona Swedru in the Central Region. Now, the chairman of the National Media Commission, Yabwedu Aiboafo, has lauded the efforts of the media in the Western Region in covering the recently held general elections. Speaking at an interactive media session at the GJA Press Center in Takrade, Yabwedu Aiboafo attributed the calm atmosphere in the Western Region to the professionalism of the media personnel in the region. He stated the nature of the outcome of the parliamentary elections in the region could have been a trigger for tensions, but for the well-managed coverage provided pre and post the elections by the Western regional media.
From our point
we are impressed about the way that the Western region has been calm. And we appreciate that it has been calm because the media tried to tame things. If the media had tried to be very, very violent, like people are doing, this region would still have been in turmoil. Because this region represents one of the most traumatic experiences in terms of total, particularly for the Sekane Takoradi metropolis. This is the first time, I mean, since 1992, because 1992, the NPP did not contest in the elections. You know, since 1996, that the whole of the Sekane Takoradi metropolis, apart from 2 constituencies, have completely gone NDC. It has never happened. And so it is something that will have triggered a lot of confusion, you know, since people in the NPP who have always been in the majority will be shocked. And then the NDC people who have always been the minority are also shocked because they are surprised about the turn of events.
Yawedu Ayebuafo added it has become expedient to engage the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association (GIBA) to ensure the gains in the industry are well protected by championing the welfare of their employees.
The other thing for us also was to come and learn from you, you know, as to what are the experiences that you went through. And at least some of the narrations that we heard have convinced us that it is not out of nothing, that you also made some sacrifices. You could equally have exploited some minor developments and bloated it and said that there's confusion over here, there's confusion over there, because some beatings took place. But you managed it so effectively because these were isolated instances. But you did not present it as if that was what was happening. And that is one of the lessons that we have learned. And from here also listen to some of the comments that came. We need to engage the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association in terms of their relationship with their workers, you know, and see that at least even though we cannot dictate to them what they ought to do, we can appeal to them to understand that when their workers are satisfied, they will get better output. If their workers are dissatisfied, they can cause their stations to collapse because they will bring one story, and that one story can destroy all whatever that they stand for. And
you just had the chairman of the National Media Commission, Yawedu Ayebuafo. Jones actually joins me in studio now with the latest in our world of sports. What's happened, Jones?
Right, so we start off from boxing, where President-elect of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, has pledged to elevate boxing and bring back the lost glory days of boxing. President Mahama was speaking at the Ultimate Legacy Boxing Night at the Bukum Boxing Arena in Accra yesterday. Believes that football is not the only sport in the country that should deserve all the attention.
I want to assure you that we're going to build the full complement of this arena with the gyms and everything so that we can bring boxing up as one of the top sports of Ghana. We all love football, but football is not the only game. It's not the only sport. When we were young, we used to stay up till 4 a.m. to watch Azuma Nelson fight in Australia. We're going to recapture those days here in the Bukum Boxing Arena. And it shouldn't only be boxing. It shouldn't only be football. It should be all the other sports. When we go for the Olympics and you see a country won 67 gold medals, it is not only football, it's not only sports. It is skiing, it is all kinds of judo and everything. So let's build up all the sports and all the talents that we have so that Ghana can go to a game and come back with 20 gold medals, 30 gold medals, instead of just one bronze medal in either boxing or football.
Right, in the English Premier League, Mohamed Kudus, who scored a goal for West Ham on Saturday to give them a point against Brighton and Hove Albion, has explained his celebration with a Ghanaian-made traditional stool as paying homage to his country, Ghana.
It's a stool from Ghana, you know. With my celebration sitting on the board, I see a lot of competitors and a lot of people doing it. So I thought, yeah, why not do something different that shows my roots and where I come from, you know. So, yeah, where I'm from, the chiefs and the kings sit on stools where they're from. So I thought, yeah, it would be nice to share a little bit of light from where I'm from, you know. Very good, as an attacker, it's good for my confidence and my playing style, because as an attacker you want to put the ball in net. So,
well, you never know. You might see kitchen stools in the English Premier League very soon.
Thank you, Jones, for giving us the latest update in our Auto Sports. Jones Aji there with our sports desk. To some other stories now. It was onto a second attempt at breaking the Guinness World Record of the longest singing marathon by an individual person is struggling to pull funds. The Heroes Park where she is stationed remains dejected with a handful of people popping in and out. This morning, she has been vacillating between local gospel, some high-life music, and Afrobeats. My colleague Ivan Hikofumado is the monitoring the singathon. Well, if you're anywhere close to the Heroes Park in the Shanty region, do pass by to support Ifua Asantua on a sing-a-thon second attempt. That's it for the Midday News on your Simply the Best on Radio Star 103.5 FM. We have more stories on starfm.com.gh. My name is Emmanuel Ejab, and have a good afternoon.